US strikes Venezuela's capital, Caracas. Military installations, ports targeted. Trump announces Maduro captured. Venezuela denounces state terrorism. How did the United States carry out strikes in Venezuela?
On your screens is a video from Venezuela's Caracas. This video was shot from the phone of a local who witnessed what can be called as one of the biggest events this year. An event that has not just overturned the Venezuelan government, but also has led to the arrest of President Nicolás Maduro and his wife, Celia Flores. Hello and welcome to Xplained by NewsX with me, Uday Pratap Singh. Today we're taking a look at a massive attack launched by the US on Venezuelan soil. The early hours of January 3rd, 2026 marked a dramatic escalation in US-Venezuela relations when the United States launched what President Donald Trump described as a large-scale strike against Venezuela. In a Truth Social post made shortly after 4:30 a.m. Eastern Time, Trump announced that US forces had carried out the operation and that Venezuelan President Nicolás Maduro, along with his wife, had been captured and flown out of the country. He described it as a success conducted in conjunction with US law enforcement, with more details promised at a planned Mar-a-Lago news conference later today. Here's another video from Caracas, where a major explosion occurred at the Higuerote airport. Areas affected included military installations such as Fuerte Tiona, Venezuela's largest military complex, the Generalissimo Francisco de Miranda Air Base, La Guaira Port, Higuerote Airport, and communication antennas on Cerro al Volcan. Power outages soon hit southern Caracas. Smoke was visible rising from some sites. The US Federal Aviation Administration issued an immediate ban on American commercial flights in Venezuelan airspace due to ongoing military activity, while the US Embassy in Caracas advised sheltering in place. And here's another video, this time from the port of La Guaira, where the US attacked multiple vessels claiming them to be involved in drug trafficking. You see massive flames engulf a ship post the strikes. You can also see a large plume of smoke rising from another ship. However, the strikes seem to continue. The United States used low-flying aircrafts and helicopters overhead with identifiable US platforms, including Chinook and Apache attack helicopters, as well as possible AH-1Z Viper for precision strikes. NASA firms data from January 3rd, 2026 detected multiple heat signatures indicating sustained fires in Caracas, Venezuela, including two near Fort Tiona, the country's largest military complex. However, no widespread oil refinery fires were noted in firms related to the attacks. Meanwhile, PDVSA facilities reportedly sustained no major damage. Following the massive overnight operations, Venezuela's Interior Minister Diosdado Cabello described the US military strikes as a criminal and terrorist attack involving bombs and missiles targeting civilians, people and infrastructure. He stated US objectives were only partially achieved, emphasized complete calm in the country, urged citizens to remain calm, trust leadership and civic military unity, and said Venezuela will overcome the aggression. However, this was just the tip of the iceberg. In a post shared on his social media platform, Truth Social, US President Donald Trump very proudly declared that Venezuelan President Maduro and his wife were both captured by the US military. This, of course, gained a lot of surprised reactions from around the world, with media outlets claiming that the US president was now showing unrestrained global power. A larger question that loomed after the announcement was on the whereabouts of the Venezuelan president. However, that doubt was also soon cleared. USA's Attorney General Pamela Bondi took to social media platform X to confirm that Nicolás Maduro and his wife, Celia Flores, have been indicted in the Southern District of New York. The US Attorney General confirmed that Nicolás Maduro has been charged with narco-terrorism conspiracy, cocaine importation, conspiracy, possession of machine guns and destructive devices, and conspiracy to possess machine guns and destructive devices against the United States. Global leaders were soon to react to the news of Maduro being captured, from the EU stating that they were in favor of a peaceful transition to Russia's demand of clarification. Let's take a look at some of these reactions. Well, the Russian Foreign Ministry called for immediate clarification on the situation in Venezuela. after the US said it had captured and removed President Nicolás Maduro and his wife from the country. Russia said that such actions, if true, constitute an unacceptable violation of the sovereignty of an independent state, respect for which is a key principle of international law. Meanwhile, Belgian Foreign Minister Maxime Prévost posted on X that Belgium's embassy in Bogota, Colombia was fully mobilized to respond to the situation. He said that the situation is being closely monitored in coordination with Belgium's European partners. On the other hand, the European Union's foreign policy chief, Kaja Kallas, said she had spoken with US Secretary of State Marco Rubio as well as the EU's ambassador in Caracas. The EU stated that Maduro lacks legitimacy and has defended a peaceful transition. Meanwhile, British Prime Minister Keir Starmer said he wants to establish the facts and speak to US President Donald Trump about the military operation in Venezuela. Starmer has also stated that the UK has had no part to play in the strikes.
Well, I want to establish the facts first. I want to speak to President Trump. I want to speak to allies. As I say, I can be absolutely clear that we were not involved in that. And as you know, I always say and believe we should.
Apart from Russia, China has also reacted strongly to this incident, calling it a violation of international laws. For Beijing, Venezuela is not just an ally but a major hub for energy security. China imports a large quantity of crude oil from Venezuela. China has stated that it is strongly against external military intervention in the internal affairs of any country. The Chinese Foreign Ministry has warned that the US should not turn Latin America into a new battlefield. Otherwise, the entire world will have to bear severe economic consequences. As world leaders sharply divide, with Cuba, Russia, Iran, Brazil, Colombia, Mexico and Chile condemning the US operation as illegal aggression and state terrorism. Argentina's Milei has celebrated it as a blow to dictatorship, and others like the UK, EU and Indonesia urge restraint and dialogue. The globe is bracing for a fallout. However, the one question that's looming is what is on the cards for Venezuela, and it's now captured President Maduro.
US strikes Venezuela's capital, Caracas. Military installations, ports targeted. Trump announces Maduro captured. Venezuela denounces state terrorism. How did the United States carry out strikes in Venezuela?